Hello and welcome back to another edition of our TribPreps video series. Like always, my name is Alex VandenHouten, and to my left is Todd Sommerfeldt, back this time around after being at Milton last week. It's good to have him back as always, and we'll be running through we'll be previewing week 2 of the playoffs here. Of course, last week a lot of stuff happened, and now we have 7. How many teams do we have left? 7.
We lost by half our teams.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah, in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin,
We also have Caledonia and Houston going.
That's right. Yeah, Houston. Good to see Houston still going too, by the way. But we'll be previewing that real quick here. Let's just run through the teams we have left, or the games we are going to be focusing on this Friday. In Division 2, we'll have number 5 Holman at number 1 Hartford. I'll actually be there covering that game, so look for me over there as well for updates and everything. In Division 5, we'll have number 4 Aquinas at number 1 GET, a game we're obviously looking forward to for a number of reasons. We'll get into that one.
I'll be at that one.
Yep, Todd will be at that one. And number 6, Arcadia at number 2, Prairie du Chien. Our local matchup here. It's kind of rare that we have 2 of them like that.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have a semifinalist no matter what in Division 5, so we'll see what happens after that.
And in Division 7, we have number 5, Pepin Alma at number 1, Bangor. Number 3, Turtle Lake at number 2, Blair Taylor. And over in Minnesota, like Todd said, we have the 1-2A section championship game, Caledonia versus Chatfield at Casson. And then in 9-man, we have Houston versus Grand Meadow.
I think that's in Austin.
And that's in Austin.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, you're correct. That is in Austin. There, that one is. But Todd, let's start over in Holman first. I know you were out there on Wednesday at practice here. Just take me through the vibe. What's kind of been what you felt out there today?
Well, I felt like I was surrounded by a pretty confident team, even though they're going against an unbeaten team in Hartford. I think that when Holman saw the draw in this bracket, that it looks like a winnable quarter of the bracket. I think and Hartford plays some good teams and has put up a lot of points and throws the ball really well, but think about what Holman did this year. Played very well. They have 3 losses, and I think a lot of people look at Holman and just see the 3 losses. Lost to Menominee, lost to Sparta, lost to Alaska. Turnovers killed them in all 3 games. So they've kind of been their own worst enemy in those losses. So we'll see if they can go out there and play a clean game against Hartford, and if they can, you have to think there's a chance to win. I think one of the big aspects of this game is Hartford not having an option team to play against during the season. That'll be one thing that Holman can go in there and possibly exploit. We'll see. I think Hartford still has a good defense and might be able to adapt, but we'll see. It's something new to throw in there at least if you're Holman. So I think that's something they're looking forward to trying here. Yeah,
and Hartford too is another team kind of like Watertown was last week, a team that likes to throw the ball around quite a bit and really spread it out that way. I know they have a really good quarterback over there in Hartford. What is some things maybe they're kind of looking defensively Holman this weekend around?
Obviously they have to defend pass. You're going to have to, and they're going to complete passes. You have to, reserve yourself to that. What you're going to need to do is stop them where they catch it. You're not going to be able to stop everything. They've played against some good passing teams before, and it's not like Alaska threw the ball all over the field on them. They defended that pretty well in that game. They only lost by a touchdown, and again, that was due to a turnover. And Alaska converted on it and pulled out the win in the conference championship. So I think that Holman has a good secondary. I'm not sure, and I haven't seen footage of the quarterback. I don't know if he's good at escaping the pass rush or not, but Holman's been able to do a decent job of that, at least keeping some regular pressure. I don't think they have a ton of sacks. At least when I've watched them, it's not a ton of sacks, but eventually they'll get to them. And they've done that against some good quarterbacks. So we'll see how they do in that aspect of the game. But I think they just kind of want to go there and just try to steamroll with that option offense as they can. If Hartford tries to take away Holden up the middle, you try and pop something outside with Abraham or Navala and see what you can do with Weber. I mean, Weber can go inside, outside, has had some big gains each way. Holden, you're just going to kind of keep pounding with him. And they will, even if Hartford finds a way to slow him down. But you're just kind of doing that to try and break something big.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's real interesting. What you mentioned is that Hartford doesn't see this type of offense very often. It's very rare. We're crunching the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, according to Kowalski, he said Wisconsin Lutheran is the last team that they played that runs this offense. And going back, they haven't played them since 2016. And the only freshman on the roster was the current quarterback. So you're looking at a bunch of players if that's true. And I haven't looked at every team in the North Shore. But I'm sure Kowalski has.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that's true, you're looking at whole bunch of kids that haven't gone against it. So that's what you got to try and take advantage of.
And not only the physicality that brings, but also, like you said, the misdirection, the mentality, all that different type of stuff.
You have to be zoned in on every single snap, and you can be really physical, which I guess Hartford's got some size on the defensive line, and all it takes is missing it once.
Yep.
And I think it was Connor Haggerty. I think I was talking to him after the Onalaska-Holman game, and he just said, we were talking about the Holman offense. He said, you can't try to be the hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As soon as you try to be the hero, you're going to get burned.
You're done.
And
all it takes is one guy to get out of position. That's all it takes.
Exactly. So it's all assignment, and you just have to follow it. Mm-hmm. And you're not going through it before, obviously everybody's focusing on every play, but the triple option is just different.
It is. Ask Watertown how that went last week. Brett Holden had almost, 250 yards rushing.
Yep.
It was a great night for them.
And I'm sure Hartford's going to try to take that away.
Exactly.
That's where you look for that outside burst and Abraham or Navala or even Weber.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a fun one. Like I said, I'm going to be at that one, so follow me along as I take you through it on Twitter and everything, highlights and all that type of stuff for updates. But Todd, let's go to the game you're going to be at. That's going to be a fun one too. Aquinas GET. It's going to be real interesting. We talked, GET's physicality and that type of stuff. What are you kind of looking forward to in this game?
I think it's going to be interesting because I think Aquinas has played the swallow that they were in. I think either had, aside from Aquinas, very elite teams or teams that they should go out and be able to beat. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think they've seen a lot in the middle. GET again then played in a conference that didn't challenge it very much. No. So I think with GET, we're still looking at them as a team of what does GET really have. I think Burns and Vance are going to be really difficult for Aquinas to contain in this game, and GET always puts together a line that can spring those big runs and stuff, and they're not going to throw the ball out. They're just going to come out at you and run. Aquinas will have to find something maybe a little different to do, maybe mix it up a little bit to try and move the ball offensively. GET, again, has played pretty well defensively, but I don't think the opponents have been all that great.
Yeah, no.
And that doesn't mean GET isn't as good as its record by any means. You play who's on your schedule.
Yeah.
So, but I think I think this should be a little more of a test for GET. I still think GET has to go in as the favorite. I mean, obviously they're 1 seed and Aquinas is 4, but I just think with the way GET has showed how explosive it can be, score tons of points, I think you have to, give them the benefit of the doubt in that too. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm most looking forward to seeing what the Aquinas defense can do in this game and how they can handle Burns and Vance and try to limit those big plays.
Yeah, and are we sure about Gavin Wetzel's availability too?
No, I haven't talked to Tom Lee yet, so we'll see what's going on. I know he got hurt last week. Mm-hmm. You got a freshman in there that could be another factor in this game, but they won last week.
Yeah. So and he's not your typical freshman either.
Right. Yeah, they're excited about it. They're excited about him. So we'll see how that plays into it as well.
Yeah, we definitely will. And as we move along here, Todd, of course, we're looking at the list here. Number 1 Bangor, of course, because in our home game, Peppinalma. Yeah. We expect Bangor to handle business like they did last week too, as well.
But you have to. Peppinalma's been playing very well.
They have. You mentioned the second half. Yep, you mentioned that too.
They're really putting it together, and you go back a few years, and Peppinalma beat Bangor. I think it was the semifinals or quarterfinals, one of the two. And Peppinalma has been a team that's gotten to Camp Randalls in the past.
Yes.
Obviously, different kids now and everything, but didn't start the season very well and really turned it on and has won some good games. So I think if you're looking for a team that's going to challenge Bangor, this would be a team that can. Whether it will, we'll wait and see. I think Bangor is just seasoned enough and is used to playing deep into the playoffs at this point and has really done well against some good teams to this point. So
yeah,
I think obviously you give the advantage to Bangor on that, but don't overlook how well Peppinalma's been playing as of late.
Yeah, don't overlook it. And we'll have Eric's going to be at that one, right?
Eric Lee will be at that one.
Okay, so of course look for him as well on Twitter and everything for all your highlights and video and just all that updates from that game as well as we move along. And let's jump over to Caledonia and Chatfield. I know Caledonia, I was actually at that game earlier this year, Caledonia versus Chatfield. It was that game where Caledonia got up real big. You could see them just kind of relax a little bit. And, of course, Carl wasn't too happy about that originally, but they still won 41-8. Chatfield in the past obviously is a team that's kind of been one of those teams that always thinks they kind of had a better shot of beating Caledonia.
And others do too, yeah. I mean, that's, if you look at the schedule, it's like, all right, where's the Chatfield game?
Exactly, yeah. And so that'll be, I know obviously the Gophers will have their upset, minded team there in the section championship. And of course, that winner moves on to the state quarterfinals there. Really, anything you're really looking at for that game as well, Todd?
I mean, they handled them the first time, and I don't know that there are teams out there that can get stomped by Caledonia and then figure out a way to come back and beat them.
Yeah,
I think, and Caledonia's going to be ready. The kids aren't going to be thinking about the fact they won 41-8. Carl Frickty's not going to let that happen. Brent Strader, none of those coaches will. So this is a game that Caledonia's going to be super focused to play, to go back to state again. It happens every year. Goes back quite a while. And I expect to see a ready Caledonia team go into this game and prepare for what's next.
Yeah, I do too as well. I do too as well. And Todd, that's kind of going to do it all for us, the list of games. I know we don't have a whole lot here. We kind of were saying that.
No, we're just down to a handful of games at this point. But the good thing is, when you look at this, we're still going to have a decent number of games next weekend. We're certainly not going to be done anytime soon.
Yes, and like we said, we're guaranteed another game in Division 5 with, those 4 area teams going to be playing, the winners are going to be playing each other there as well. So
we'll get a game in Division 7. I think Bangor will win.
Yeah, the Bangor.
And Blair Taylor's got a pretty good shot, I think, of beating Turtle Lake. So we could see the 2 of those teams match up too.
Yeah, it should be a fun one too. And of course, we expect Caledonia to move on as well. But for all the action, like we always do, follow everything we do on lacrossetribune.com. We'll have the collection up, and of course, I'll follow all of us on Twitter as well. Like we said, I'll be over in Hartford for the home and Hartford game. Todd will be over in Galesville for Aquinas GT, and then we'll have Eric at Pep and Alma Bangor as well.
And speaking of games next week, don't count out Holman. I think it's a team that really can go into this with a chance, and I don't know that anyone else in the state thinks that with the way Hartford has played and the fact that they beat Homestead this year and have played so well. But Holman's a good team that has 3 losses, so certainly don't rule that out.
Yep, don't rule out the Vikings. You heard it here from Todd. Don't rule out the Vikings.
Not yet. But don't rule them out till they lose.
Don't rule them out till they lose. But for me, Alex VandenHouten and Todd, that'll be all for us tonight. Like I said, follow everything we do on Twitter, lacrossetribune.com. You can find everything there, like always. But for now, that'll do it for us, and we'll see you back here Friday night. Thanks.